This is KOTV, Channel 6 News at 6, with Clayton Vaughn, Jill Lyon, meteorologist Jim Giles, and Bill Teagan Sports.
Good evening. Confrontations today in Oklahoma politics. Republican gubernatorial candidate Henry Bellmon says he still will not debate the Democratic nominee David Walters. In Oklahoma City today, Bellmon made a surprise appearance at a news conference at Walters' headquarters. Walters had called the news conference to release information about Bellmon's finances, and he issued a challenge to debate. But Bellmon again refused.
And Senator, I again welcome your presence here, and I want to make the press available. Not that I can make them available, but I want to afford you an opportunity to speak with the press. But we need a debate. I can't emphasize that enough. We've got to talk about the issues. That's what's important.
Seems what Mr. Walters has done is hit me with a fistful of feathers. There's nothing here that isn't in the public record, nothing that I have any desire to conceal, nothing that's in any way irregular.
The two candidates then, separately, came to Tulsa and made a joint appearance here this afternoon, where Bellmon said he could not debate because of ethical questions raised over the loan that Walters used to help finance his campaign. Now, after the meeting here in Tulsa, Walters released a large packet of documents showing financial transactions by Bellmon. Over the last year and a half, Walters estimates that Bellmon has reduced his debts by more than $900,000. Bellmon said the figures are wildly inaccurate, but Walters said the documents suggest that Bellmon may have got in shape to run for governor through a series of sweetheart deals with his wealthy friends.
Tulsa School Superintendent Larry Zenke says 2 current school bus drivers will be fired for lying on their job applications. The 2 drivers have felony convictions, but said they had clean records when they applied for employment. 7 other drivers have been suspended now on the basis of information supplied by Channel 6 News and confirmed by school officials. Joe Webb compiled that information, and it's being broadcast in a series of reports beginning this week. Joe?
Well, Jill, last spring and again this fall, we requested a list of Tulsa school bus drivers from the school district's transportation department. We used that list to check the criminal records of the drivers. We found that 3 drivers who had been on the job this year had been convicted of felonies, not white-collar felonies, but crimes against people, violent crimes. The check of the criminal records led us to driving records also. The State Department of Public Safety records show that many of the drivers have problems in that area as well. Several do not have the chauffeur's license required to drive a school bus, and 5 other drivers at the time of the records check had suspended licenses.
Our check shows that this record belongs to a driver hired in the last 6 months. He's had 8 tickets in the last 5 years. He's on the list of current bus drivers, but the state suspended his license in July. This record belongs to a woman also on the list of current bus drivers. This June, she was hit with a bail bond suspension. Her license is currently suspended by the state, and they have it in their files. Of the 267 records checked, 62 school bus drivers had no traffic record. The remaining 205 were involved in a total of 207 collisions. Some have as many as 6 on their records. Tulsa's bus drivers tallied up 302 tickets. 3 have been written up for drinking and driving. According to the Department of Public Safety, 7 current bus drivers do not have the required chauffeur's license.
And Jill, will have more on that tonight in our 10 o'clock newscast, and in tomorrow's reports we'll turn our attention to the criminal records.
Okay. And Joe, obviously the research that you've done putting this together has already resulted in some action by the school district. What other changes do you think might occur because of this?
I think you're going to see some changes in the application procedure for not only school bus drivers, but all employees of the school system. I think there's going to be an increased level of communication between the Tulsa Public Schools Transportation Department and the Department of Public Safety. At this point, when a bus driver's license is suspended for whatever reason, minor or serious, the school district has no idea that that driver is driving without a valid license. There also will be some increased communication, hopefully statewide, between all the school systems and the Department of Public Safety.
Okay, Joe, thank you very much for that report. There's been an apparent setback in the campaign to brighten the reputation of Tulsa Central High School. A Central student was stabbed, although not seriously hurt, in an after-school fight near Central about 2 weeks ago. The 3 youths who allegedly started the fight were not Central High students and were arrested. But before the fight was controlled, some other Central students did become involved. Mary Grady reports.
What happened here in the Central High student parking lot didn't help erase the image that this school has of being a tough school. But it's an image that Dr. Lyle Young, the principal, is trying to change. This is Dr. Young's second year as principal. He says when he took the job, his main priority was to change the school's tarnished image. He agrees the stabbing incident may have set the school back.
Anything negative that happens sets us back some, of course, but there's so many positive things going on that I don't think that one incident is going to set us back very much in our efforts at creating this very positive image among students as well as parents as well as the community at large.
There isn't a noticeable feeling of tension among the students, but some say it's there, especially among the groups involved in the recent fight. Philip Griffin says his friend, the one stabbed, is still afraid.
It's unreal. I mean, you have to go around the school looking over your shoulder all the time and just see if you're going to get hit or not. I mean, it all needs to stop, really.
There are students who believe the school has changed for the best.
I've liked it. I ain't gonna say I loved it, but I liked it. You know, I've liked Central's for 3 years now, and it's gotten better to me. I mean, it's not a lot everyday fighting, you know, it's cooled down, you know.
Young agrees and says it's because Central has a lot going for it, a winning football team and a real effort among the students to improve their academic and school image as a whole.
I mean, it's the best school in Tulsa, you know, it's the newest one, best campus. It's just got a bunch of bad rumors and stuff that's happened in the past.
Mary Grady, Channel 6 News.
And ahead on Channel 6 News tonight, the giving spirit takes hold again in Tulsa, this time getting ready for the holidays.
And it's been a year now since Project Offer. Has the state's generosity toward Ethiopia changed? Randy Lewin will have a report.
Cousins of Tulsa, for 33 years offering America's most prestigious home furnishings. Help us celebrate our anniversary. Combine the tradition of Cousins of Tulsa with the crisp, clean lines and exquisite craftsmanship of contemporary tables and accent pieces by George Cook Sons. And you have one more reason to join us for a most unique anniversary celebration. Visit Cousins of Tulsa, 4421 South Mingo, where the finer things are still affordable.
K95 FM, Tulsa's continuous country music station, is now reaching out with a bigger signal to more towns and more people than ever before. If you live in Claremore, Pryor, Wagner, or anywhere in Green Country, listen to K95 FM now. You're gonna love the more powerful crystal clear FM stereo sound of K95 FM. So listen to K95 FM for continuous country favorites. And now a new, more powerful signal than ever before.
Lots of people like Brahms shakes. That's because we still make them the old-fashioned way. Each Brahms real ice cream shake is made individually and never just dispensed from a machine. And each Brahms shake is made with your favorite flavor of real ice cream, blended thick and creamy. A real ice cream shake or malt from Brahms. You'll like it.
Oral Roberts University today confirmed that its medical school has received full accreditation for another 3 years. The American Medical Association decided in favor of the school after a hearing last week, but ORU received written confirmation just yesterday. There had been concern that medical school students were not exposed to enough patients to receive proper training, but school officials say that has been proved untrue, and the dean of the school says graduates have been getting high marks on a questionnaire sent to their new employers.
And basically that survey showed that the residency directors in these programs all over the country rated our students above average over 75% of the time.
The new accreditation will last through the 1988 school year.
The environmental group Citizens Action for a Safe Environment, known as CASE, does not want the Sequoia Fuels plant down in Gore to reopen. Today, the group filed a request for an order in Muskogee Federal Court to stop the expected restart of the plant. Now, the facility's been closed since an accident in January there that killed one worker, but the Nuclear Regulatory Commission has approved resuming production, and the plant could be back in operation as early as the 1st of the month. In spite of improved safety and training procedures at the plant, CASE says it still may not be safe and should not reopen. It was only last week when several major airlines raised their fares, but at the first of the month, Tulsans will be treated to a new round of fare wars. Continental Airlines is coming back to Tulsa. Continental has taken over the assets of Frontier Airlines, which went bankrupt, shut down several weeks ago. Introductory fares will be as low as $69 from Tulsa to the West Coast. Laid-off employees will be given first chance for 16 available jobs.
There will be an opportunity available for all former Frontier employees. Continental Airlines, having served Tulsa before, also has some employees who were on furlough status from this city, so those employees will be offered opportunities as well.
Now, Continental will resume Tulsa service on the 1st of November with 5 flights a day out to Denver.
And if all the mergers and takeovers go through, Continental will be the country's biggest airline. But a lot of business types say smaller is better. Business incubators are designed to get new businesses off the ground by nourishing a new business with everything from technical help to hard cash. Tonight and tomorrow, Oklahoma's first Small Business Incubator Conference will take place here in Tulsa. The national director of a business incubator trade group says it's time for Oklahoma to get in on the act.
It does no good to point fingers and say that mistakes were made. The point is that the state, because of the terrible situation of oil and gas prices, is in a terrible situation. It must turn into resources that are there, and thankfully it's going to be doing that. It is turning in, it is finding the resources. The entrepreneurs are there. They are in their garages, they're in their corporate offices.
The conference at the Westin Hotel goes full speed tomorrow with a variety of topics covered by public, private, and academic small business experts. Well, Thanksgiving is still a month away, but already some Tulsans are making sure that the needy will be taken care of during the holidays. The second annual We Love You Neighbor food drive kicked off today at Tulsa International Airport. 25 businesses are involved in this year's drive, with the mayor's wife, Joan Crawford, leading the campaign. The businesses will act as collection centers for canned goods. The food will be donated to the Salvation Army. Fine Airport Parking, one of the businesses, has a list of collection centers. The businesses are trying to raise 100 bushels of food.
The group that raised millions of dollars for famine-stricken Africa is in action again. Live Aid says it will spend $5,000 to study a tribe of European nomads called the Afar. If that name sounds familiar slightly, it may be because Oklahoma Grain contributed through Project Offer helped to keep the tribe alive last year. Randy Lewin documented Project Offer's success a year ago, and tonight he reports some Oklahomans are determined to keep that giving spirit alive.
The kids who sang We Are the World and gave their dimes and dollars to Project Offer remember what it meant.
If they didn't, all the people, all the babies and all the stuff would die, and I would hate to see that.
But relief groups in Africa admit disappointment and frustration. With millions of people still on the brink of starvation, the world is passing them by. Kids now learn there are hungry and homeless people all over the planet, even in
America.
These Oklahomans will never forget Ethiopia. In the 1950s and 60s, 200 of them served in an exchange program between Oklahoma State University and Ethiopia's only agricultural college. A year ago in Ethiopia, Dr. Dejeni Makonnen proudly showed us rows of corn his university grew. At OSU's invitation, this week he's in Stillwater, hoping to reestablish the exchange program and take advantage of Oklahoma know-how.
Agronomy, breeding, animal sciences, natural sciences totally. And also the possibility of, having some of our staff to come up here and to be trained.
And some Oklahomans say they're willing to pack up and continue what was once romantically referred to as our adventure in the wonderland of Sheba.
Ethiopia probably changed me more than anything's ever happened in my life.
How so?
Well, I love the people and the country. It's a fabulous country. Something new every day. Woke up to a brand new day that was never the same.
These are the ties that continue to bind Oklahomans and Ethiopians. And in January, Oklahoma State University hopes to strengthen those ties by sending a delegation to that university halfway across the world. Randy Lewin, Channel 6 News, Stillwater.
And coming up, Jim Giles with a midweek forecast that's a little on the soggy side.
Putting together the right health insurance program to fit your needs can be easy when you know where to look. Look to the leader, Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Oklahoma, for a choice of innovative, affordable programs that work to hold down the cost of health insurance for companies and individuals. Programs that offer real value for your changing health insurance needs. Find out why more Oklahomans choose the company with the caring card, Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Oklahoma.
We're close to our kids. Katie couldn't go on her first date till she was 17. We can get this economy moving in the short term. We've done it before. Long term, it's the quality of our kids, their education, our families.
Jim Inhofe will help today's economy. His ideals can prepare our next generation to build their own bright, secure tomorrow. Let's send him to Congress.
Yo, Samson! Lunch.
I need a burger like I need another haircut.
Tired of the same routine? Introducing the new Double Beef Burrito Supreme from Taco Bell. It's got twice as much beef as our regular Burrito Supreme for a bigger, beefier taste.
Whoa! Where can I get another one?
They're new at Taco Bell.
Great! I'm out of here!
The new Double Beef Burrito Supreme, only at Taco Bell. The cure for the common meal.
There's some good coming from the recent flooding. More and cheaper power for the Grand River Dam Authority. The GRDA's hydroelectric turbines have been running at full capacity for almost 4 weeks now, and the water levels are still so high that those turbines will continue to run wide open for another 4 weeks. When hydropower is not available, the GRDA uses coal-fired turbines, but that costs about 5 times as much. And even though there is more power at less cost to the GRDA right now, customers' bills are not to get lower because GRDA rates are set in advance for 6-month periods. Now, talking about rain and beautiful weather and all that kind of stuff, which I hope will be the topic at least, here's Jim Giles and look at our Tuesday night forecast. Jim?
Thank you very much, Clayton. Yes, indeed, we have rain and beautiful weather in the forecast. Looks like in the coming 24 hours, there's our rain, but then over the weekend, looks like some nice weather coming up. Now, here's our current satellite or radar picture. This is the Tulsa National Weather Service radar. This is Tulsa and ground clutter right around the city. And this is a line of showers, for the most part, light, some moderate, showing up in dark blue, and an isolated thunder shower or two in that action. It's moving our way ever so slowly, maybe at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Let's jump back to 2 o'clock. During the afternoon, and we can see the stuff not quite to the Ponca City area. Watch it now from 2 o'clock to the present time. At first, it moved our way almost, not at all. It got stronger then during the mid-afternoon period. During the past hour or two, it started its movement in our direction, again, at 5 to 10 miles per hour. We see it from about the Cedar Vale area on down through Fairfax, Pawnee, through about the Cushing area and on down to about Chandler. It should be into the Tulsa area. Let's give it another 2 to 3 hours before it finally makes its way on in. Let's take a look at our record book information for today. 71, our afternoon high, 49 this morning. We did not get the clouds overnight, and that allowed us to cool down more rapidly than anticipated. 48 to 73, 30-year average temperature range, 92 the record back in 1978. Look at that freezing temperature, the early morning low record of 30 back in 1917. Here's our current situation. It's cloudy at 67, dew point temperature 49, 53% relative humidity, wind south at 10, and a falling barometer. Our pollen count today, 571, mold spore count, cedar at 83, and ragweed at 12. Good air quality during the daytime, and 63 our early morning 4-inch soil temperature. Here's a look at some of our spotter lows around the area. That 49 showing up here in the Tulsa region. Over in Claremore, 50 degrees. Down in the Stigler area at 47. Tahlequah, Dr. Glenn Sizemore, one of the cooler readings in the area, and even 40 this morning. Here's the current situation. Heavy cloudiness all over much of Oklahoma. You can see the showers. It's moving through Osage County now. Stretches way out over the western part of the state, but far western Oklahoma starting to clear. 67 in Tulsa, around 59 degrees in the Oklahoma City area. They've had rain for quite a while. Their temperature's cooler. Here's our general satellite view. We're still looking at moisture pumping up from now tropical storm Rosalind. It'll be approaching and entering Mexico during the next 3 or 4 hours. A great deal of that moisture up through Texas. It's this upper level storm to the west we'll finally have to get through to clear us, and that should happen along about Thursday or so. Here's my forecast for tomorrow. That front into eastern Oklahoma, scattered showers and thunderstorms for us tomorrow, but by Thursday should be behind that system and clearing. Here's the way the forecast reads now through the evening period. Cloudy skies, mild temperatures, scattered showers and thunderstorms. You saw them on radar moving our way. Sundown at 6:40. Overnight, count on scattered showers and thunderstorms around the area. Patchy fog, light southeast winds, 54 by morning. For tomorrow morning, still more scattered showers or thunderstorms around the region with some patchy fog. Sun rises at 7:37, mid-50s early on. You'll need a jacket or a raincoat tomorrow early. Our outlook for the next several days, it looks much improved after tomorrow afternoon. Scattered showers and thunderstorms and 65 for a high. Our outlook will improve. On Thursday, 65 degrees, maybe a few AM sprinkles, but then improving during the afternoon. Friday, a little on the mild side there at 68, partly cloudy sky. Saturday looking good, 69, fair. Should have just a dandy weekend.
Good. Clear it all out.
We're going to do it.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. G. Joe?
And up next in sports, how are the area college football teams measuring up? Phil Tegans will give a few midterm grades when we come back.
Shame on you, Jim Jones. I've heard you trying to tell people that Senator Nichols voted against Social Security. You know that's not true. Why, you even voted to tax my Social Security, Mr. Jones. Senator Nichols wouldn't do that. I guess you think confusing people about Don Nichols' record will get you into office, but most people remember your liberal voting record. Thank goodness we have Senator Nichols working to protect Social Security. He votes the way we think here in Oklahoma.
That's quite a load.
But when you save more, you can buy more, and I saved a lot at Walmart.
Then now you'll save even more because Walmart is still rolling back prices. Today's Kids All-Star Sports Center was $84.96. Now it's rolled back to just $79.96 every day. And Hasbro's newborn real baby, it was $29.96. Now it's rolled back to just $26.94 every day. At Walmart, you end up with a lot more left over in your pocketbook. You'll find more new low prices for the things you need most. And at Walmart, you know you'll find that price anytime you shop. Look at Kodak's automatic camera, just $56.86 every day. You'll save on every item every time you shop. In fact, many of Walmart's everyday low prices beat other stores' sale prices. A lot of stores talk low price, only Walmart stands by it. Why shop anywhere else when Walmart has what you need when you need it at great prices?
Every day.
That's real savings. That's the Walmart way.
Well, here's Bill to talk about Game 3
Yes.
back in Boston.
Go with the Red Sox. World Series time again tonight after a day off. It is Game 3. Sox up 2 games and returning home to Fenway Park. Interesting game tonight in that Mets pitcher Bob Ojeda right here is coming back to face his former team in a ballpark that wasn't all that good to him. He says it is special playing against the Sox, and there are also some who do not think he'll be up to that task.
Here a year ago, with a pretty good idea I was going to be traded. And people say, well, what are you going to be doing next year? This is a classic example. Who knows, A year later, I'm coming back here to pitch against him in the World Series. I couldn't have figured it, couldn't have planned it, but it is special. I'd be lying if I said it wasn't special, if it didn't mean something.
I think he steps on a mound and looks at the green monster. The old memories are going to come back, and when he sees that he's in a Mets suit and he's facing a Red Sox lineup who don't chase bad pitches, they're going to be patient.
In football, there are no undefeated teams left in the National Football League. The Broncos were the only perfect guys until last night, but then the Jets kicked them around Giant Stadium where they played. New York started from the opening kickoff. Johnny Hector goes airborne and picks up the last couple of yards for the Jets' first score of the night. They were in complete control from that point on. Kenny O'Brien, the quarterback, in off the bench, just backs up and lofts one to Wesley Walker in the end zone for the TD. The Jets were flying. John Elway is Denver's outstanding quarterback. He had all kinds of problems. The Broncos were the NFL scoring leader going into the game. Get some pressure here from the Jet defense. The official says he is down for a safety, but the Jets just keep going, throw him to the ground, get the penalty, but they also won the game 22-10, the final last night at Giant Stadium. Well, in college football, OU, OSU, and Arkansas have all crossed the midway points of their seasons, and maybe now is a good time to look back. Since these teams all represent institutions of higher learning, Bob Stevens thinks it's report card time.
Private schools having minds of their own, TU passed its midterms a couple of weeks ago. The Hurricane is like that kid who loves to take the big tests like OSU and Houston, but really hates those pop quizzes, ergo Louisiana Tech. So give TU a B for now, but remember, the final exam is against Vinny Testaverde, who plays from a different book. Arkansas gets a high B. After all, they are ranked in the top 15, and they just beat Texas. But no A for the Hogs now because they flunked that easy test against Texas Tech at home. Still, Arkansas has a chance for an A if they go to the Cotton Bowl. Oklahoma State is that kid you really feel for. You remember the kid in school who was a real slow learner and was just about to flunk out more than once, but slowly and surely is now coming back and might even end up with better than a passing grade?
Well, yeah, I think we can be 8-4. We got a chance to be 8-4 and be in a bowl, go 7-4, get in a bowl, and be 8 and have the same record we had last year. I think we're good enough to do that. We'll have to play good.
Finally, there are those Sooners. Now, you remember the kid in school who was so good he was bored most of the time, so he spent all his time talking too much? Well, OU's kind of like that. High achievers who would get an A in any other class, but they only grade themselves. And Vinny gave them a good spanking a few weeks back. So an A- for now, and some thoughts for the future.
Our personnel is all right. Depth is all right. And we're just going to have to take it into consideration that we've got something to do. It's the Big 8, and if we want to go back to Orange Bowl and have a shot at Miami, we're going to have to take each game one game at a time.
If the Sooners do that, they'll get an after-school trip down here. Bob Stevens, Channel 6 Sports.
Believe I'll make my reservations today, as a matter of fact. Junior college rankings are out in football. Number 1, NEO at 7-0. Number 2, Coffeyville, Kansas at 7-0. Two of the best teams around.
They sure are.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Bill.
You bet.
Clayton?
Well, leaving well enough alone when it comes to Tulsa school bus drivers and using taxpayer money to further political campaigns. Those topics still to come when we open the viewer mail.
Clothing for Channel 6 News provided by Harold's.